You think you'd know if your dog was depressed? You're probably wrong, because the signs don't look like what you expect. They don't look sad. They look like nothing. That's exactly what makes this so dangerous. Here's what nobody talks about. Dog depression is silent. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't come with obvious symptoms you can Google. It hides inside behaviors so ordinary, so easy to explain away, that most owners never connect the dots, not until something is seriously wrong. A recent study found that nearly 75% of dogs display signs of poor mental health. 75%. And yet a quarter of dog owners had no idea their dog could even feel that way. So there's a gap, a massive, heartbreaking gap between what your dog is showing you and what you've been trained to see. This video is about closing that gap. Here are 10 signs your dog is emotionally depressed. Signs that are invisible until you know exactly what you're looking for. Stay until sign number 7, because that's the one most owners are accidentally making worse every single day. One more thing before we start. As we go through each sign, keep a mental tally of how many apply to your dog. Even 1 is worth paying attention to. 3 or more? This video was made for you specifically. And at the very end, I'll tell you exactly what your number means and what you need to do about it. Let's go. Sin 1, they've become destructive. You come home. The couch cushion is on the floor. The trash is tipped over. Your favorite pair of shoes has met its end. Most owners blame training, or boredom, or bad behavior. But here's what's actually going on. Dogs have the emotional intelligence of a 2-year-old child. They feel stress, they feel loneliness, they feel anxiety, and just like a toddler who can't put their feelings into words, they act out instead. That chewed furniture isn't defiance, it's a release valve. When a dog is overwhelmed emotionally and has no outlet, that energy has to go somewhere. And it goes straight into whatever is closest. The most telling version of this? It only happens when you leave. That's called separation anxiety. And it's not a behavior problem. It's a broken heart on a timer. If your dog destroys things the moment you walk out the door, they're not angry at you. They're terrified of losing you every single time. Sin 2, the spark has left their eyes. Think back to when your dog was at their happiest. The way they sprinted to the door the second they heard your keys. The full body wiggle when you say, walk. The way they'd lose their mind over a tennis ball. Now ask yourself, when did that last happen? Because a depressed dog doesn't just stop being happy. They stop expecting happiness. They stop anticipating the good things. The excitement fades first, quietly, before anything else does. You might write it off as getting older or calming down. But there's a difference between a dog who's relaxed and a dog who's given up. One is peace. The other is a dog who has stopped believing good things are coming. That low excitement isn't maturity. It's your dog telling you the light has gone out. Sin 3, they can't settle ever. Here's a fact that surprises most people. A healthy adult dog sleeps between 12 and 16 hours a day. Not because they're lazy, because deep, restful sleep is a sign of emotional security. A dog who feels safe in their world and can fully let go and rest. But an anxious, depressed dog can't find that off switch. They pace, they circle, they lie down, get back up, move to another spot, lie down again. They flinch at sounds that never bothered them before. They wake, startled from sleep, eyes wide, heart racing from a nap. Here's the biology behind it, and this is important. When a dog experiences chronic emotional stress, their nervous system gets stuck in a state of high alert, a loop it literally cannot exit on its own. The brain keeps sending danger signals even when there is no danger. So the body keeps responding. The muscles stay tense, the senses stay heightened, the system never gets the all clear. That restlessness isn't excess energy. That's a nervous system locked in survival mode running a fire drill with no fire, on repeat, every single day. When a dog can't rest, they're not being hyped. They're exhausted from carrying something they can't put down. Sin 4, their coat is changing. This one catches almost everyone off guard. A dog's coat is a window into their emotional state. When a dog is mentally well, confident, connected, secure, their fur shows it shiny, even, well, maintained through their natural grooming habits. But a dog carrying emotional weight starts to look different. The coat dulls, it becomes uneven, sometimes patches thin out. And it's not always a health issue. Sometimes it's simply that the dog has stopped taking care for themselves. Because that's what depression does. It strips away the motivation for even the most basic self-maintenance. We see this in humans too. When someone is deeply struggling emotionally, the first things to go are the small routines. The shower, the haircut, the things that suddenly feels like too much effort for too little reward. Your dog's coat might be showing you what they haven't been able to say. Before you reach for a new shampoo, look deeper. Sin 5, they've pulled away from you. Quick pause before sign 5. If you've recognized your dog in any of these signs so far, I need you to hear this. You are not a bad owner. You are not the reason your dog is suffering. You're here, you're watching, you're paying attention. That already puts you ahead of most people. Because the real danger isn't owners who don't care. It's owners who care deeply, but simply didn't know what to look for. That's what this video is changing right now. So keep going. The second half of this list is where things get serious and where the answers start. Dogs are pack animals. Connection isn't a preference for them, it's a need. Biologically, emotionally, fundamentally. They are not built for isolation. So, when a dog that once followed you room to room starts choosing corners over connection, disappearing under the bed at 2 p.m. for no reason, wedging themselves behind the couch where there's barely any space, sitting alone in the hallway, instead of wherever you are, something has shifted in a way that matters. This isn't independence. Dogs don't suddenly decide they prefer solitude. When they withdraw, it's because the world around them has started to feel too heavy. And sometimes the safest thing they know to do is get small and get quiet. The painful part? They still need you. Even when they're hiding from everything, including you, they still need you. They've just lost the ability to reach out. A dog who pulls away isn't pushing you out. They're waiting to see if you'll come find them. Sin 6, they won't meet your eyes. In the dog world, eye contact is everything. There are two kinds. The first is soft eye contact, a slow, warm gaze from across the room. Relaxed eyes, maybe a slow blink. That's your dog saying, without a single word, I feel safe, I feel seen, I'm glad you're here. It's one of the most intimate things they can offer you. Studies have shown that during this kind of eye contact, both dogs and their owners experience a release of oxytocin, the same bonding hormone released between mothers and newborns. That look your dog gives you from the couch, that's not nothing. That's biology. That's love wearing a scientific name. Then there's the second kind, active avoidance. And it looks completely different. It's not a distraction. It's not the dog looking at something else. It's a deliberate, purposeful turning away, head angled down, eyes sliding toward the floor. The moment yours meet theirs. No lingering, no softness, just a quiet, firm signal that says, I can't do this right now. Most owners read active avoidance as stubbornness, but a dog deliberately refusing eye contact is a dog in emotional retreat. They're telling you as clearly as they know how that something inside them has gone too quiet to reach out. When their eyes go dim, listen harder. That's when they need you most. Sin 7, they keep licking themselves and you can't make them stop. I told you sign 7 was going to hit differently. Here it is, and I have to be honest with you about something first. The reason most owners make this sign worse is not because they're careless. It's because the response they reach for, the one that feels responsible, the one that feels like good ownership, is the exact wrong move. They do the loving thing, and it backfires. Every time. Here's why. When a dog is lonely, anxious, or emotionally depleted, they often turn inward. Literally, they start licking or chewing at their own fur, usually around the paws or wrists, over and over and over again. Not out of boredom, not because something itches. It's a self-soothing behavior, a way of generating sensation to cope with feelings they have absolutely no other outlet for. Over time, this repetitive licking creates small, raw, circular sores that veterinarians call lick granulomas. And here's the moment that should stop. You are completely cold. Most owners treat the skin. They put on a cone, they apply a cream, they schedule a vet visit, get an antibiotic, and wait for the wound to heal. And it does heal. And then, sometimes weeks later, sometimes days, the dog does it again. same spot, same sore, same confusion from the owner, because the skin was never the problem. The wound was just the only visible part of something happening entirely for the inside. The body found the one place it could make the invisible visible. And if you only treat what you can see, you'll be treating that same spot for years while the real cause continues untouched. It's not a skin issue that needs a cream. It's a soul that needs something more. If your dog licks obsessively and no medical cause explains it, stop looking at their skin. Start looking at their life. The answer is always deeper than the wound. Sing 8. Their tail has gone quiet. A dog's tail doesn't lie. It can't. It's the one part of their body that bypasses everything and just tells the truth. And a tail that's consistently carried low, tucked toward the hind legs, barely moving, sometimes completely still, is a tail that's telling you something is wrong. Not wrong as in, I'm sick. Wrong as in, I'm not okay. A happy dog wags from the core. Their whole back half gets involved. Some dogs wag so hard their entire body moves with it. And when a dog feels truly safe, truly loved, they'll roll over and show you their belly. That's the ultimate signal. Total surrender, total trust. When all of that disappears, when the tail goes low and stays low, don't wait for something more obvious to show up. The tail already said everything. Sign 9, they've lost interest in food. Signs 9 and 10 are the ones most owners only recognize in hindsight. After it's already been going on for months, don't let that be you. Food is one of the most primal signals of a dog's inner world. A dog who feels emotionally grounded eats with enthusiasm. They show up at meal time. They finish the bowl. Sometimes they look at you like you might give them more even when the bowl is clearly empty. That eagerness around food isn't just hunger. It's a dog who is engaged with their life. But a depressed dog starts to disconnect even from that. The bowl sits untouched. The treat gets sniffed and walked away from. The food they used to inhale in 30 seconds sits there for an hour. This isn't pickiness. This is the emotional state overriding basic biological instinct. And that should tell you something serious, because hunger is one of the hardest things for any living creature to suppress. When your dog stops eating like themselves, don't wait it out. Don't switch the food. Don't assume they'll come around. A dog who's lost their appetite has lost something bigger first. Sin 10, they've stopped responding to you. This is the one that breaks most owners' hearts because it feels personal. You call their name. Nothing. You give a command they've known for years. They stare through you like you're not there. And your first instinct is to feel frustrated or confused or even a little hurt. But here's what's actually happening. A dog's ability to respond to you is not just about training, it's about connection. When a dog is emotionally healthy, responding to your voice is natural. It's something they want to do because you are their person, and pleasing you is woven into who they are. But depression rewires that. It creates a fog. Commands they once followed without thinking suddenly can't penetrate whatever's happening internally, not because they've forgotten, not because they're being defiant, but because emotionally they've gone somewhere you can't reach with a word. When your dog stops responding, they haven't stopped loving you. They've just gone somewhere dark and they need you to come get them. So, 10 signs. And I promised you something at the start. I told you to keep count. Here's what your number means. 1 to 2 signs. Your dog is most likely okay, but keep watching. These things build quietly before they become obvious. 3 to 5 signs. Your dog is telling you something, not a crisis yet, but a clear signal that something in their emotional world needs attention. More presence, more routine, more connection. 6 or more signs. Please don't wait. This is a dog who has been carrying something heavy for a long time, possibly while you had no idea. A vet visit, a behavioral consultation, and a serious look at their daily life are all worth doing now. And if you recognized yourself in any of these numbers, that feeling you have right now, that mix of guilt and love and urgency, hold on to it. That's exactly what your dog needs you to feel, because that feeling is what changes things. Here's what I need you to understand. Dog depression is real. It's not dramatic. It's not an exaggeration. It's something that happens triggered by loss, change, loneliness, a shift in routine, or even picking up on the emotional weight you've been carrying yourself. Because yes, research has confirmed that dogs absorb our stress. When you're struggling, they feel it too. The good news? Unlike so many things in life, this is fixable. More time, more routine, more presence, a vet visits if the signs are severe. Sometimes just sitting on the floor with them, no agenda, no commands, no phone in your hand is enough to begin pulling them back. Your dog has been with you through everything. Every bad day, every quiet night. Every moment you needed them without saying so. Now it's your turn. They're not broken. They're just waiting for you to notice. And you just did. If this video helped you see your dog differently, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe, because next time we're going to talk about exactly how to help a depressed dog find their way back.